Auditorium in Sacramento, California. Welcome to this year's Roller Derby World Championship game between the San Francisco Bay Bombers and the Eastern Express. I'm Ken Kunzelman along with Rich Gold here to bring you all of the action. With the women up on the line, let's get down and pick up the opening jam. Blows the whistle to start it off the line. We've got 3 referees in this championship game, and we'll try to give you a look at them after this play. Bombers Terry and Abnett, little Jackie Garello. Abnett, Garello All-Stars this year. Express jammers out. And Rich, the Express could be a little tired here because they had to set this up. They just came off a 4-period sudden-death playoff match against the Midwest Pioneers about a half hour ago.
It's something they have to battle, and like we talked about then, and we interviewed them earlier.
With the first penalty in the game called, and here are the 3 referees. Jim Fitzpatrick on your left, the head referee, Hugh Kendall, the senior referee also, I might mention, in the center, and Joe Lynn Highland to the right, the only just zebra that we've got in the league right now. And it is not a first, but it has been almost 20 years since we've had a woman on the infield.
Did a very good job, too. Can you get back what I was saying about the Eastern Express being tired? Yeah, perhaps they are. They've already skated 4 periods, 2 each for the men and the women. But I think at this point of the season, with the World Championship at stake, I think they're fresh.
I think the adrenaline is, at least to start with, the Express might have a slight advantage because they are up. They just beat the Pioneers.
Right.
They may be tired, but that adrenaline is flowing. The Bombers have to, get the engine started.
That's a good point. Usually each team feels each other out. I think perhaps the Eastern Express will go out and score right away.
Johnny Weston battling up the front of the pack with number 46, Claudia Hobby. We'll have rosters for you after this. E.J. Peterson for the Express. Barbara Baker for the Bombers. Both were All-Stars in 1985. Peterson put down. So the Bombers now, both teams scoreless in that first game, we didn't mention it. The Bombers the chance to go up first here as the Express do not have a jammer. Baker trying to get by B.J. Peterson.
Peterson with revenge on her mind. Look at Joni Weston back, trying to help out.
Peterson playing that 20-foot goal. Oh! Peterson put down. Weston leads away from Barbara Baker. The Bombers have got one. They're going for more. The World Championship title on the line. Here, Baker puts through. Calls it off. First scoring play of the night, and the Bay Bombers have it.
Let's hope Barbara Baker is okay. That was a serious blow that she took there. After the whip by Joan Weston. Barbara was the head on the stand, yes.
2 Bomber points for Baker, second-generation skater. We've said it before. Her pop and her mom, Russ Rosie Baker, and his Big Red Jensen, the first coach and women's captain of the Bay Bombers back in 1954. Jensen had it until 63 when she retired and Joan Weston took over. The Bombers have only had 2 women's captains in their entire team history, and that, needless to say, is a record.
I can't think of a better captain than Joan Weston.
Roster now. First for the visiting Eastern Express in the women's field. Number 42, Dolores Holmes. 43, Wilma Ryan. 8 All-Star this year. 44, Pam Harrison. 46, Claudia Hobby. 48, B.J. Peterson. We'll have the Bombers after the swing. We have an injured Bomber down there being replaced. Williams in for Schleck. I believe there will not be a point there. I'm not sure. Joni Weston now, the pivot helmet, becomes the lead jammer here. Number 46, Claudia Hobby.
Interesting jam, Ken. We have...
Or wait, no, we did not have a jammer out, so we've got no... Pivot skaters cannot be a jammer until a play is started by a jammer. So the Bombers get Terry and Abnett out, and Weston will just take Hobby back now. Bombers with the lone jammer, Terry and Abnett. Number 37. B.J. Peterson, the block for the Express. And then up outside. Check to the rail. That escapes. Baker trying to get an assist back there. Peterson warding her off, blocked it in and back. Shot at Baker. Peterson not even going to get close enough to get a block on her. play. 2-0 Bombers lead, but it's going to be tough to get points here.
That's why B.J. Peterson's an all-star. It's the best piece of skating we have seen so far. Naturally, it's very early, but I'm talking about even the mini-series before this. B.J. Peterson was able to hold off 2 blockers, and we'll take a look at some of the action right here. Able to hold off 2 blockers and yet keep the jammer behind her. That's why she's an all-star. One of the great skaters in the league is B.J. Peterson. He is terrific.
Well, you think the whole team's back there blocking for the Express because Peterson is up the track, down the track, the middle of the track. 3 people can't get somebody by for a point.
That's right, and not only that, B.J. Peterson sent everybody else up. She said, folks, I'll do the work myself. Let me handle this one. Maybe you can pick me up later. She was great.
Here now, the roster for the hosting playoff. And last season's defending world champions, San Francisco Bay Bombers, 31, Rita Williams. 35, little Jackie Morello. 36, Barbara Baker. 37, Terry Canavnet. 38 is Joan Weston. And high number 43 is Sherry Swink. For the Express Bombers, little Rita Williams. And this, Rich, can say the tall and the short of it here. You're not going to get much more of a disparity in sizes than this.
You're looking at what, the MVP in the league against Rita Williams?
All-star. Half a minute in jam time. Williams comes up low. Uses her size to advantage.
That's a nice surprise.
Rita Williams. Her team is leading 2-0. The Express have yet to break the ice. 15 seconds, not much time left. Weston trying to get a play together. I don't blocking Weston reaching. Fake flip. Williams inside. Williams inside. Calls it off.
Great fake by Joan Weston that time. She learned B.J. Peterson to sleep. They thought the whip was coming. Instead, she snuck backdoor, scored. That was an interesting jam there, Ken.
One Bay Bomber point. Little Rita Williams scoring. A fake whip by Weston completely deceiving Peterson. 3-0. Bombers have scored. The Express are not. With 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period.
Joni Weston just now coming off the rail. Along with her, 46, Claudia Hoppe, the most valuable player according to the awards given. Great skaters. What did you say? The statistic I think staggered me. Joan Weston is the all-star team. How many straight years of playing?
She was Rookie of the Year in 1954. Went to the Chicago Westerners, the forerunners of the Midwest last year. 2 years later, in 1956, she placed on the All-Star roster. In those days, it was tough to crack that roster. She has been on the All-Star roster every season since. She has
1956.
Has never missed a season. That's a record that I don't think anyone will beat. Jackie Grella, the Bombers out 2-1.
Jackie's an all-star skater.
That's right. That was really a surprise to those award ceremonies. Grella sent to the rail. All right now. 2 Express jammers. Joni Weston double duty blocking as Peterson was a little earlier here. Bomber down. Swing. She has been passed. 2 Express jammers moving here. They're on the fourth line. Now a Navnet taken back. Weston. Time is running out here. The Express do have points. 3. No, only Pam Harrison got by Terry and Navnet for the second point. Secondary, Ryan went down. They both got points over Shirley Schwenk.
Far side, you're watching a brief meeting now that is broken up with Joan Weston skating towards you, holding her left hand up. They have talked it over. They've given her 3 points. It is, what, 3-3 now, and perhaps that's the last jam. No, we will have, what, one more jam left, Ken?
Well, 20 seconds. They may get one started, but I put my money on they don't score. 3-3 tie game after the Express first scoring play tonight. They've broken the ice now. Barry Baker on 7. 4, 3, 2. It's over. Weston had Hobby pinned back on the rail. Still there, but time ran out before Baker could get by. There is no score as time ran out.
Here's your reminder of no score.
No score again on the play. Kelly joining us, and there you see her down on the track. Well, at the end of the first period of play, the score stands. The Bay Bombers 3, the Eastern Express 3. We'll be back. The men on the track after this break.
The International Roller Skating League is proud to announce the grand opening of the official IRSL training school under the direction of Bay Bomber superstar Joan Weston. If you've ever dreamed of soaring around the bank track, now you can learn to skate with the pros. The training school is at 1273 Industrial Parkway West in Hayward, convenient to all the Bay Area. Open weeknights and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. weekends. Open to women and men 18 and older. Call 415-582-2131 for details and get in on the action at the IRSL training school.
Welcome back to the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. I'm Ken Councilman along with Rich Gold with this year's Roller Derby World Championship game. The men are on the track at the start of the second period. Here we go. Alfonso Ray is directing traffic for the Express there. Bombers going to jam him out, but he is behind out number 2 to 1. The money man, Larry Lewis for the Bombers. Vince around the outside. Blocking the track. He's not going to call it off. He's going to go in twice. Roll. Takedown. Miller. Oh, precision timing. Larry Lewis and his coach Bill Roll set up big Mike Phillips for the first bomber point of the nation. Go right over the line. Let's watch the relay.
Again, not only is Larry Lewis the quickest skater in the game, he may be the quickest skater in history. Watch him get around both men right here. He'll take the high side. He'll fake him out, dance around, and then with Bill Grohl setting the pick, Lewis will go ahead and pick up the point before calling off the jam. Look at Lewis saying, let's go get him right here. Here's the replay. Here's Grohl, the takedown, and then the score. Lewis calling off the jam.
4-3, the tie-breaking point right there. Bombers back up in the lead. Larry Lewis, Mr. Everything for the Bay Bombers this year, I'll tell you. That's reforming now.
Watch the most valuable player on the women's side. Larry Lewis, MVP on the men's side.
Express again, 2 jammers out. They will go with number 7, Dennis Claiborne of the Bombers. That roster's coming up after this play. Claiborne outnumbered, and they do it to him again. The Express may be a little overconfident here. They got him. Got somebody over the rail. Frank Apodaca set the point, I believe. One more Bomber point, Rich.
Frank Apodaca, very nice. Very nice indeed. And Mr. P is upset, as well he should be.
The crowd on its feet here in the state capital, Sacramento. They love their Bombers, and they love what their Bombers are doing right now.
What a great crowd we have, Ken. What a fine crowd. There you see Mr. P along the rail. And a nice shot of the crowd here, and it is capacity right here, Memorial Auditorium.
5-3, Bombers lead by 2. There's a rather unhappy Mike Phillips right there.
We still have yet to see one of the great matchups. Bill Grohl against you-know-who, Alfredo Wright.
That's right. The roster for the Eastern Express in the men's field, number 42 is Bob Solomon, 43 Steve Sartain, 45 Bill Moore, 46 Mike Phillips, 48 Ron Allen, number 12 going low numbers Chuck Colbert, 15 the coach James Paul, number 16 Alfonso Reyes. All right, here we go. 3 plays in a row. Express make both jammers, break them on top. Here comes Frank Apodaca. Psychologically, this is going to be crushing for the Eastern Express. Locking in the back. Here's Apodaca delayed. Most improved skater in the league this year. He's by for the point set up by Coach Bill Grohl. One more Bay Bomber point. They're picking them apart. 6-3 they lead now.
And a very good call, Ken. A very good call. They are indeed picking them apart. Apodaca that time got the jam. Bill Grohl was able to knock him on his backside. And look at the balance that Apodaca has as he begins the jam in slow motion. You see it right there on the far side. He'll go around, break between both of them, and then is able to skate to a point. Apodaca, Ken said, most improved skater in this league as he goes around one more time, and then Bill Grohl will set a nice pick against the captain, James Paul. Down he goes, and the jam called off. 1 point Bay Bombers. Nicely done.
And I guess Mike Phillips can't say they're picking on him anymore. They went after the coach, James Paul. The roster now for the Bay Bombers in the men's field. 31 is Brad Lemkill, 32 Larry Lewis, 33 Chris Keenan, 36 Frank Apodaca. You saw him there. 37 is Louis Caramello. And number 38, the coach the general manager, Bill Grohl, and wearing number 7 jersey, Dennis Claiborne, who scored on the second play.
6-3. Wouldn't it be nice to see the Bay Bombers run away? Nice at least for these fans here that are clapping in unison, hoping to see the Bay Bombers win this thing going away.
Claiborne gets away from Solomon Express. He'll face James Paul back to the rear. Solomon back up after Claiborne. Even up at 1-1. First jam in the mid period, it's been that way. First 3 jams, Express had both jammers out, had them out first, and they came up second best all 3 times. James Paul blocking for the Express. Bombers ran Apadaka back. Block back on Claiborne. Solomon moving up. Paul may try to assist, blocking in the pack. They try to box Apadaka in. Hits Phillips forward, but a block by Paul. Sends Apadaka to the rail. Easton Express break the ice here in the second period. The first point. 6-4, cut the ball to 2.
There's Mr. P right there. Nice shot of him from the ground up. Look at that haircut, Ken.
I wonder if he makes the last payment on that today, do they give him the rest of it?
I think he needs it. A nice sheen glowing from both sides of Mr. P. Mr. Phillips, they call him. He is, how you say colorful?
Different. You know, Bomber coach Bill Grohl put his club through a lot of extra training for this game tonight. They really couldn't work out a specific strategy because they didn't know until just an hour ago who they would be facing.
Tough one. You know, we speculated that it might be a possibility as Reyes skipped out on the jam, Ken, and I'll let you call it, but we speculated that it might be tough for the Bombers to take an early lead here simply because the Eastern Express had already skated and they're warmed up.
Trying to set up a point on Bill Grohl. Bombers lose their jammer. Grohl has been passed. They're going to try to move on Apadaka now. Express trying to get things together here. They go after Apadaka. Take down. Called off by Reyes.
Did he get the point?
1 point.
Oh, they only gave him 1, and
Well,
Reyes thought it was 2.
He did not get by Apadaka. See him rolling up now? He did not get by Apadaka. Only point is over Bill Grohl. The 6-5 cuts the Bomber lead to 1. And Alfonso Reyes right there, the man who is most singularly responsible for the Express being in this championship game. He scored the last play of the game against the Pioneers to come from behind, and he also was the high scorer for the game with 8 points.
Both of them ticked off. I want to see the action. Yes, Ken, I really do. Here it comes. Right now, Reyes, as you'll see in slow-mo, he's out on the jam. He's trying to get 2. He knocks his man over the rail. He picked up a point right there with Bill Grohl being slow and on the infield, but Grohl in his defense was knocked out. They'll go against Apadaka, and I want to see if he scores. Over the top, did he score? There he called off the jam. I thought it was a point.
I don't think you could say he was clearly by.
Okay. I thought it was a point.
This is not football where we have the line of the plane of the...
It's close.
You got to be clearly by.
I thought he was clearly by, but it was my mistake, obviously.
It's not almost a point. It's got to be absolutely a point.
Reyes thought he had to.
All right, Bombers have the jammer. And a big breaker. Claiborne already. Mike Phillips the block for the Express. Hit on the outside. Claiborne stays in there. Phillips flying around. Gets a warning. Technically not holding that. There's still a lot of time. 25 seconds left. Bombers the lead by 1. 6-5. Championship final.
Mr. P with a hammer to the hand. Look at that.
Gets another warning on that. Oh, blocked by Paul. Well, let's see if they say that Claiborne was by Paul. Time running out. Claiborne getting back up. Hit again by Paul. Ooh. Phillips handball. There is no score. He did not get by.
How'd you like to beat Dennis Claiborne? 3 times up, 3 times down that time, and both of them quite brutal.
We got 2 minutes left here in the period. Yeah, the coach of the Southern Stars, Bill Hill, is livid over this season's playoff format. Featured only the first and the second place teams. But I wonder, would Hill be quite so upset if the Stars hadn't been in fourth place?
That was the problem right there. You know, that's why he wasn't here tonight, right? For the playoff, or rather for the award presentation.
Yeah, he was boycotted the whole thing. Well, you know, 2 coaches said their team in the rookie year would go all the way. One has been right so far, and one has been wrong. And Bill Hill was wrong.
Hill was wrong.
James Paul is into the final. final game.
James Paul is a great skater, great talent in this league. Oh, this is a nice jam, isn't it?
It is Larry Lewis for the Bombers. Alfonso Reyes and Ricketts Lewis. I skate backwards faster than you go.
I don't think Alfonso can catch him.
Reyes is going to be Steven if he ever gets to Lewis. Look out! Lewis, flies. Paul gets his old man. Bill Grola block. Phillips is railed. Colbert is railed. Lewis calls it off. Call him the money man, and he saw why right there. 3 Bomber points. 9-5 they lead.
If you could read Ray's lips, he said, "What was that?" I'll tell you what it was. It was a taunt and a very successful one, as Larry Lewis made fun of Alfonso Reyes.
There's the buzzer. Let's watch a little bit of the replay here at the end of the period.
Oh, this is the most entertaining jam we have seen in some time. Look at Lewis egging him on. Skating backwards.
Skate backwards faster than you can go.
Crooking his fingers at him.
Yeah,
saying,
he's got to
"Come
rattle
on."
Reyes' cage.
Oh, he's upset.
Now, watch when we get up here. The maneuver that Lewis Slade makes.
Still waving him on. And James Paul to help out, and boom.
Oh, can that man make a move on skates?
That was some jam right there. 9-5 our score. Bay Bombers leading, and the crowd very happy.
Well, with 2 periods of play gone, the scoreboard reads the Bombers 9, the Express 5. Women are getting ready to take the track. We'll pause along the special IRSL Madison Square Garden Network. The women are on the line for the start of the 3rd period of play. I'm Ken Thompson along with Rich Gold. We're here to bring you this year's Roller Derby World Championship game between the Bay Bombers and the Eastern Express. The whistle is sounded, so let's pick up the action. 9-5. Bombers lead it by 4 going into the 3rd period. But it's so far a rather low-scoring game. Terry and Evans for the Bombers. Dan Harrison for the Express. Harrison puts an Avnet to the rail. Express trailing by 4. Don't want to fall the web on. Bomber down. Terry and Avnet could be in trouble. Back at the rear. We back up. Harrison is Meyer. Harrison moving on John Weston now. Weston set. Elbow on the outside. Another block. And that up. She is not a jammer. Weston working on Harrison. Another block back on Harrison. Hard elbow. Bomber jammer. Jackie Garillo moving up time, beginning to run out. Garillo in the lead moves on Peterson. There's the buzzer. Peterson catches Garillo. There is 1 Express point. Dan Harrison scoring over Terry and Abner.
Ken, that was a vicious series. Very tough. Some of the forearms, some of the elbows that were distributed by the captain, Joan Weston. I wouldn't have wanted to take one of those in the chops.
Oh, I'll tell you. Atlanta's a veteran team going into this year's championship. Joan Weston, 2nd-generation skater. Barbara Baker was in a diaper derby when she was 2.5 years old. So she has been on skates almost from the very start. And, of course, Jackie Garillo made the all-star roster this year.
As did Barbara Baker and Joan Weston, correct?
That's right. Jammers back at the rear. They have to all 4 be back there. The blockers in front, the pivots top of the pad. And they start to move when that whistle sounds. First one out starts at 60 seconds. Jam time running.
Trying to control the pack. Jam out the lower, and Barbara Baker out also for the Bay Bombers.
Horace Holmes, 42 for the Express. Baker for the Bombers, number 36. Inside, Baker the elbow. 1-1 on the play. Bombers lead at 9-6. Bomber down, Swank, and Baker quickly calls it off. And Rich, that shows the importance of being the lead jammer on the play, because you are the only one that can stop the play, stop the jam, call it off by putting your hands on your hips. And that's why you see a lot of jockeying out there on the jam, because you want to be in front of the jam.
I think it's a heads-up play, too, by Barbara. It would have been very easy for her to look back, since she was the lead jammer, and miss the fact that her teammate was down. Let it go. Let the Eastern Express pick up an easy point, but that didn't happen. She was smart enough to go ahead and call it off at the proper time.
Back reforming. There's
Baker's out again, isn't she?
Barbara Baker goes again.
B.J. Peterson and Barbara Baker both out on the man. B.J. Peterson and Barbara really going at it.
Peterson working on Baker. Goes to the outside. And that maneuver is harder than it may look, to go high on the bank and still have the force to block down and put the opposing skater down. That's going to be a little harder here. Joan Weston blocking. Weston checks on the outside.
You got Baker pinned, and that's a point. More time to score, too. Oh! It's a big jam, isn't it?
That is right for the Express. It is. 3 points, and they'll tie it up. B.J. Peterson.
B.J. able to get by Jackie Garello and go ahead and call it off. You'll see it one more time right here. Watch Joan Weston going against Claudia Hamdi right there. Claudia was able to make a nice move, take Joni out of the play. B.J. sneaks slow. Then she'll get Garello on top and then call off the jam. 3-point jam for the Eastern Express to tie this thing up at 9 apiece, Ken.
Okay, well, we've got a timeout called on the track right now, and we'll pause along the special IRSL Madison Square Garden Network. Right now, the score stands. The Bay Bombers 9, the Eastern Express 9.
Well, right here I have Miss Barbara Baker, which is my pleasure because I've skated against her mother, Annis Jensen, one of the greatest of all the skaters in the old days. In fact, we were the original Bombers, but enough of that now. Now we have the next generation, Barbara Baker.
Hello, Annie. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, Barbara. Well, how you doing now? You're in the championship game, and you're doing real good and everything. I don't know. I can't believe it's you. No.
Well, it's going to be a rough game because we have B.J. Peterson out there, which she's very unpredictable. She's all over the place, and then we have Claudia. So it's going to be a hard game tonight, and it's going to be really tough. But we're trying very hard.
Well, I don't think it'll be too hard for you because your father was one of the greatest too, Rosie Baker, and I've skated against you, which I hope I will be skating against you next year.
Yes, it would be nice.
I haven't retired just because I got this microphone in my hand.
Oh, I thought you retired. I would say, thank goodness.
No, I'm just because I'm not in the playoffs this year, but I wish you all the luck in the world on this championship game.
Thank you.
We're back with just under 6 minutes remaining in the third period of play. The women are reforming the pack, and here we go. I might mention that Johnny Weston now heads the Bay Bombers Training Center in Hayward, California. Later in the period, we'll be giving you the league address on where to write to get complete information on becoming a professional roller derby skater. So get your pencil and paper handy.
Not only Joan, but she has a lot of the skaters help her out with that center, right?
The legendary Sherry Murray is there.
Wow.
To learn under a skater like that. Jackie Garello for the Bombers. Lone jammer so far on the play. 9-9. It's all knotted up here in the third. World Championship final tonight here in Sacramento.
I don't know that we've stressed that enough. This is the World Championship finale, isn't it, Ken?
The Bombers are the defending world champs. They hold the league record back in the 1960s. They won 5 consecutive titles. Inside, Jackie Garello off a reverse, scores 1 Bomber point, breaks the tie, 10-9 lead.
Ken, I hope we can see that again because it was a piece of work. Watch Joan Weston with the reverse whip. It is something else. Now, naturally, Joni and Jackie Garello have worked together for some time, so they've had a chance to perfect this move. You see, Joni taking Jackie on top, and watch her come underneath. Boom, right there. She'll call off the jam with 1 point. B.J. Peterson is upset, to say the least.
Yeah, they timed that so perfectly that Peterson had no chance to defend against that move. When Garello made her move, Weston had Peterson locked up. She couldn't get to Garello.
And you see Billie Jean throw her helmet down in disgust after that? They faked her out completely, Ken.
Okay. 10-9, Bombers leading by 1. After this jam, we'll give you the league address where you can write for information on becoming a professional skater or to get a free copy of the roller derby rules. Stand by.
Barbara Baker, I thought, was going to try and get out on the jam. She still may. Nope, jammed in.
Little Rita Williams for the Bombers challenge the inside of the 22 Dolores Holmes of the Express. Holmes at the lead.
Dolores was an all-star, correct?
That's right. Look out. Rita Williams gets the miss to Holmes. And this little gal is not afraid of the big one.
That's an upset right there, friends, in more ways than one as Holmes went down.
Bombers up by 1. Back at the rear now. It's going to be B.J. Peterson, rather, blocking for the Express. Williams, the only jammer on the play. You do not often see that one. The other team is also not a scoring threat. Usually you are on both offense and defense on a given play. 10 seconds. Williams has not got much time to work with. Weston kept up in the pack. Time running out. Williams hit back, and there's the buzzer. Uh-oh.
Unnecessary, completely unnecessary. However, there's no penalty called.
There's no score on the play. It remains 10-9. Bombers by 1. Okay. If you'd like to get some more information about becoming a professional skater, you'd like a free copy of the roller derby rules, get on the mailing list, learn about live games coming up in your area, and there's going to be a lot of them. Send a card or a letter to IRSL, P.O. Box 7979, San Francisco, California, 94120.
B.J. Peterson was booed by the crowd. You heard Ken giving you the announcement there. You heard the boos in the background as Joan Weston, you see, takes off. She was resting on the rail, hopefully with a idea of getting back at B.J. Peterson. That is a nice ad, isn't
it? The Rooters had Hardy hit a nice second. You want the team to get something going here now.
Root them on there, will you?
Bomber is Weston up in front of the pack. Peterson hit back. Weston wants to control this play.
Revenge is sweet.
Bombers into the pack, open Jackie Garello out. 46-20, Hobby gets out for the Express. He's got to catch up to Garello here. Again, 10-9. Bombers a narrow 1-point lead here in the third period. First half of the game. Championship action coming your way from Sacramento, California. First time the championship's been held here. Garello taken out by Hobby. John Weston back to block, and Hobby wants some help back there. Weston a shot. Peterson trying to get back. Weston trying to keep her up. 20 seconds. Bombers Jackie Garello is still moving. Could be a factor. Hobby hit again by Weston. Peterson so far ineffective trying to get an assist. Here comes Garello. Into the rail. Hobby still the lead jammer. Hobby blocked back with Garello to the rail now. 5 seconds time beginning to run out. Weston riding Hobby back. Garello up. Runs into Peterson. Time runs out. There's a buzzer, and there is no score on the play.
Nice blocking both ways. Weston on Hobby and Peterson on Jackie Garello. See if Jackie's okay. She's up slowly on the far side.
Half a minute left. You know, we mentioned the Bombers have gone through so many changes this season. They still skate as a cohesive unit. Johnny Weston lost her key backup, Dolores Tucker. Shoulder separation, and we wish Dolores a speedy recovery, by the way. Then Francine Cocheux took a leave of absence. And Weston really shocked the skating world, I think, by getting both Barbara Baker, Jackie Garello, Rita Williams, all three. There's the buzzer. Well, with 3 periods of play in the record books, the score stands. The Bay Bombers 10, Eastern Express 9. We'll be back with the men on the track right after this. Ken Kunzelman and Rich Gold back at the Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento, California with the Roller Derby World Championship game. The men are on the line now. Waiting for the whistle. There it is. The 4th period of play underway. Both teams battling for the World Championship trophy. The Bombers got into this game by having the best one-loss record in the regular season. The Express, on the other hand, had to battle their way through a sudden-death playoff game. Not last night, not last week, tonight, right here. So they're maybe a little bit tired right now out there. The Express ended the season in a dead tie with the Pioneers, and they had to skate it off for the right to face the Bombers. At the rear of the pack. Roll into the rail. Express may get a bundle here. Called off by Bill Moore. Moore and Allen, the jammers. The biggest play of the game so far. 8 Express points, Rich. 4 by each jammer.
What a way to open the 4th period. Give a lot of credit to Paul, the captain and the blocker on the play. High five all around, and we'll watch it one more time. As they come around the far turn, Bill Grohl is taken out of the play. There he goes up to the rail, and he is hurt. The jam goes on top and then down below. Matter of fact, both ways. 8 points on the jam as James Paul had a little extracurricular activity going there.
He's quite happy right now as he comes around the track. They go from a 1-point deficit to a 7-point lead. We're at 17-10. Suddenly, the Bombers have fallen into a deep pit.
Not only are you in a hole, but you're demoralized as well, and then you still have to go out there and face guys like number 46, the big guy, Mr. B, James Paul, also out there, and you know all about Alfonso Reyes.
Well, then kill 31 out for the Bombers. We might mention Bombers boast the men's high scorer of the season, Larry Lewis. More points than anyone else in the league. He made 1985 MVP tonight here. So the Bombers can come back with explosive plays of their own.
Especially with the Lewis on the track. Anytime he's out there skating, you have got the potential to get the big one, the big five.
Lemkill gets rid of the express jammer, Charles Colbert, at the rear. He runs into the big guy, Mike Phillips. Bombers trailing big, 17-10. Neat points. Lemkill put down easily by Phillips. There's Grohl back to assist. Grohl goes after Phillips. Lemkill follows through the inside as Grohl screens. Moving on. Express coach James Paul. Phillips put down by Grohl. There goes to the infield. A whip by Grohl, racing the clock. Jump clock. Lemkill stopped for one. But there is one Bomber point. That psychologically has got to be an upper. They have come back, and they did get a point. 17-11.
Nice block by Bill Grohl on Mr. B. And we'll watch it one more time. Watch it coming out. Here's Bill Grohl trying to run interference.
I don't think that he really moved Phillips that much as he screened for Lemkill to follow on the inside.
Phillips goes down grudgingly. You'll see it at the tail end here. Off the rail, then down into the infield on his dump. But James Paul picks up the slack, and that's why they scored only one.
Lemkill retained for that point.
That's got to be a penalty. On the infield, Mr. B pushing the referee, and he'll sit down and grab some bench.
He's also got a $50 misconduct fine out of that.
That's $100, isn't it?
$100. Uh-oh. All right. Well, we got a minute for more. Yeah, well, we got a minute. We'd like to thank Jim Reisinger, our director. This crew out here tonight is really coming up with some good stuff.
The fans at home appreciate it, too.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're watching at home, as good as this camera work is, you cannot get all of the action out on this 90-foot by 50-foot track into one little picture tube. If there's a live game in your area, by all means, get out to see it.
Tight shots, the up and down shots that the folks here have been getting, just outstanding. First class work.
Bombers have the jam of Chris Keenan. Number 33. Let's see who's going to block. Alfonso Reyes back, and that was really a surprise move this year when James Paul picked up Alfonso Reyes.
He's helped them, hasn't he?
Well, he's the reason why they're here right now against the Bombers. He scored the points to put the Express in front of the Midwest Pioneers in that championship game. He led the men in scoring with 8 points. The Express men outscored the Pioneers 16-7, and Alfonso Reyes the whole story. But he doesn't do it that time. Keenan quickly calls it off. Grohl takes Reyes down. Grohl went down himself. There's Chris Keenan. Little heads-up skating, calling that one off before Grohl was there by the Express men.
Got a half a standing ovation on this side with Reyes down. Bill Grohl with the most vicious forearm so far, and we'll watch it here. Let's see this one more time. Reyes, oh, and this pains me even to look at it on slow motion replay. Watch this hit. Unlooking, and boom, down he goes. Oh. Grohl had his skates tied up, otherwise the Bombers may have done some scoring.
Yeah, well, Keenan had to call it off. You saw the Express jammer coming up. Well, a point at a time, the Bombers picking away here, 17-12. They trail by 5. 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the first half of action here in Sacramento.
Keep in mind, too, we'll have halftime interviews for you.
That's right. This telecast is presented by authorization of DJL Sports Incorporated. Any other use, rebroadcast, or retransmission of this program without the express written permission of DJL Sports and the International Roller Skating League is strictly prohibited. That means, no, you can't.
This is the jam I've been waiting to see.
Okay, here we go.
Alfredo Reyes.
Grohl to the inside. Does it all. Reyes has spent a lot of time in the Masonite recently.
And now look who's back to block.
Grohl with a pivot. Remember, he can score here. And they're going to let Reyes to the blocking. Phillips and Paul preventing any Bomber help from coming back. So it's 1-on-1. Reyes to prevent. Grohl to do it. Trying to move Paul back. Gets a shot in. Grohl has gone around Reyes.
up in time? Yes, they do.
3 referees out there, and there's a good idea why we need 3 out there.
It's going to take all 3 of them to break that pair up, and now here's Reyes with the chair. See the crowd getting into the action. These 2 were at it on the floor. Let's see what the penalty call is.
All right, penalties both ways. Grohl couldn't resist getting a shot in on Reyes. Had he not done that, he would have been the victim, and he would not have got a penalty. The crowd here doesn't care. They love their coach, Bill Grohl. They're both in the penalty box. Grohl and Reyes, there were 2 Bomber points. 1 on the pass, 1 on the penalty. Foul the jammer, you give up a point on it. Penalties in the championship game, good crucial.
You have to keep your cool in the championship. You shouldn't keep it all the time. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. But especially with a world championship on the line, you must keep your cool. I think it could decide it that way easily. Let's remember this point.
That's right, 17-14. Bombers trailing by 3 now. We're down by 7. Carabello out. Dennis Claiborne out. Excuse me. Express Jammers, I don't know, this may be wearing on them. They've skated 4 periods before they started this.
That's grueling, too. That's very tough to skate a game and a half with the Bombers. I think the advantage that the Eastern Express may have had being stoked up may be wearing off.
So, all right, they lose their jammer, Colbert. Bombers have Claiborne in scoring position. After that, they're trying to get a block ball out of the way. Claiborne almost got by the inside of Paul. Penalties up. Reyes and Grohl coming back into the lineup now. 20 seconds left in jam time. Minute 48 in the period and a half. Claiborne inside. Paul taken out by Grohl. Claiborne unassisted out maneuvers Phillips. There's the buzzer jam called off. There are 2 Bomber points, and they're very much back in it. They trail by only 1.
And there's another penalty. You watch it right here. Mr. P with a knee to the back of number 7, Dennis Claiborne, who had the jam. Down Dennis went. My goodness, I think we'll see it one more time coming up with a minute 18 and counting left. Watch this.
Once more with feeling. Claiborne doing a lot of fancy footwork out there. He's been watching.
Larry Lewis, yes.
You bet. He gets by Phillips down low on the track. He's a big man. He cannot move up the track.
It is not often you fake James Paul out, and that's exactly what happened there. Paul, the captain of the Eastern Express, was fooled, and that's why the point.
50 seconds, less than a minute on the clock. This jam, when it starts, will go to full 1 minute. Stay tuned at the end of the half. Rich, they're going to be trackside with interviews. 42 seconds. But the jam goes to full minute. If it starts. Way get out. Hard time getting the jammer out here. 45.
Here he is.
Hit the Bombers head. Open, here he comes. He saves the money man. The whip from Bill Grohl to Larry Lewis. A distant second out there for the Express. Bill Moore. 45. Here's Lewis coming up the rear. Paul jump block goes all out to take him down. Scrambling back up. Lewis up again. All set. Lewis right out, run him on the outside. Lewis, take it. Oh. Oh, tremendous play by Larry Lewis.
There's no substitute in any sport for speed, and that's exactly what Larry Lewis did right there.
3-point play to end the half. Larry Lewis makes it look like taking money to a bank.
This is the tail end, I believe, as you see it on replay, of the chase. James Paul, Larry Lewis on the high side, Paul on the low side, and watch him get by him.
Look at him accelerate here.
Paul simply cannot catch him as he dances by the field, calls off the jam, and gets 3. Oh, that was nice.
He took 3 giant strides. I think he was moving so fast that he was walking on that track. His wheels weren't even turning. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, stay with us. Interviews coming up. At halftime, the scoreboard reads the Bay Bombers on top. 19 to the Eastern Express with 17. Stay tuned for interviews. At halftime, Bombers 19, Express 17. Now down to the track with Rich Gold.
Ken, these guys are tired. They're pooped, and obviously so, but I don't think so pooped that you won't come out and skate the second half, right?
We'll be there. It's the championship game. We're not pulling anything. I got to hand it to Larry Lewis. He's showing why he was named the MVP this year. we're going to have to get in the dressing room, make a little strategy, and stop his flash and flare out there. He's been eating us up, as you saw in that last jam and a few jams before, but I think we can handle it.
Nice of you to compliment Larry, because he is an outstanding skater and has been for so many years. What do you do defensively to combat that?
Well, as you know, he's one of the fastest jammers in the league, and you saw some of those moves. What I try to do is I try to get my guys working up in front, making sure he has no help so I can just concentrate on him specifically. And it's worked sometimes, but we're going to have to get together and close up some of those holes, because we had a big lead and they came back and took it from us. So I got to hand it to him.
Let's bring in the man they call Mr. P. Obviously a crowd, favorite here?
I guess they don't like me. They just don't know style when they see it. That's typical West Coast people. You know, they're lowlifes. You know, they've always been that way. But anyways,
watch it.
Let's get back to the game, sir. Like he said, you know, Larry Lewis is a good little skater and everything. But I think also you got to look at it. We've already skated 4 periods. We're tired. But it shows you we're still on top of it. We'll get back to him. Paul will get in the dressing room, chew us out a little bit, and he'll put us back on track. And I think our game got away. We tried to skate like them. Now, we have to get back to the roughness. We're known for roughness and power. Paul will get us in the dressing room, and he'll straighten us on. He'll get our head straight back. He'll get us back out there.
You guys need to mix it up a little more. Is that what you're saying?
We need to hurt some people. I think we better.
Wait a minute. Not hurt some people. Explain.
Yeah, we need. That's the way we've been skating all year. We're just known not to. Just go out there and skate. We're known to break legs and bust noses and kick people in the face, and I think that's what we got to do.
Obviously some rough stuff from the Eastern Express, and that's something that we can expect.
Like James Paul.
Well, let's go back. That's something we can expect in the second half, Ken.
Again, the score at halftime, the Bay Bombers 19, Express 17. That's it on the IRSL Madison Square Garden Network. From the Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento, California, welcome to this year's Roller Derby World Series game between the San Francisco Bay Bombers and the Eastern Express. I'm Ken Kunzelman along with Rich Gold. The women are on the line. Let's get down to the track and pick up the start of the 5th period of play. 19-17, Bombers a 2-point lead going into the second half. The final 4 to determine the 85 world title. Express the long road to get clinched first place in the league standings. They knew they were in the playoffs. The Express wound up in a tie for second place with the Midwest Pioneers. Earlier tonight, they had to defeat the Pioneers in a 4-period playoff to get here. Pioneer of the 2, the Express, Barbara Baker, the Bombers outnumbered 2-1. She's still going. Weston working at the rear of the pack as Claudia Hobby calls it off. So the Bombers come out. 1 point, Baker, to start the second half. 20-17, the Bombers now lead by 3.
Claudia Hobby that time on her backside after Joni Weston put the hard hit to her. I think this is going down to the wire, don't you? I know it's an old cliche, but these teams are so evenly matched. I would be very surprised to see this thing over before the last 2 minutes of the men's period, the final 8th period.
Well, Rich, you know, the Express have used the same game plan here, so far at least, that they've used against the Pioneers. They count on the big play for a breakthrough. Pam Harrison, 5 points in that Pioneer game. An 8-point play by Bill Moore and Ron Allen in this Bomber game.
Biggest jam of the night, but that was right there. Put them up, by 7, and then the Bay Bombers came back and chipped away and finally took the lead.
Well, really, there's only one reason why the Bombers are on top right now, and that is Mr. Everything, Larry Lewis, most valuable player, all-star, everything. The women's field, the Express outscored the Bombers 7-4. Peterson 3, Harrison 3, Ryan 1. Barbara Baker of the Bombers 2 points. Rita Williams 1, Jackie Gorilla 1. That's all the women scoring. They had 4 points. The men's field 10 points for the Express. Bill Moore, Ron Allen had 8-point play, 4 apiece. Ray's got a point. Solomon a point. The men's field for the Bombers, Larry Lewis with 7 points made the difference. Because then you drop off the stats. Claiborne 3, Roll 2, Keenan, Apodaca went through 1 apiece. Lewis 7 points made the difference.
That's right.
On the jam, Bombers the lead jammer, but Joni Weston in trouble. He worked on. Williams goes through. 1, 2, 3. Express there. Weston. Now let's see how this gamble. There are 2 points for the Express. Both jammers passed Weston.
A situation where they were very happy just to get the low score as long as they could triple team Joni Weston and maybe deliver some punishment. During our halftime interview, they said they were going to come out smoking and perhaps be more physical. This is the Eastern Express. I'm sure you've picked that up by now. They said they were going to be quite physical in the second half.
I don't understand this play. They're giving the Bombers no points, and that was a 2-and-2 play. They have jammers out. I don't understand that. A roster for the Eastern Express in any case. Number 42, Dolores Holmes. 43, Wilma Ryan. 44, Pam Harrison. 46, Claudia Hobby. 48, B.J. Peterson. Walking up the front of the pack here. Weston and Hobby. Bombers, the jammer, Barbara Baker. It out. Pam Harrison for the Express, along with Willie Ryan. 2019, Bombers just a 1-point lead now. Denabnet sent to the rail. Baker in trouble, hit back. Both Express jammers in the lead. Triple teamed at the rear of the pack. Here come Harrison and Ryan through, call it off. In time, I believe there are 2 Express points.
Goodness, that's the second straight time this has happened. Sure, there's got to be a penalty.
There is.
B.J. Peterson over there, and she is upset. Joni is down, and B.J. with her left arm outstretched. Joni Weston, for the last 2 times around, has been triple teamed. And that time, they really worked her over so much so that she's still down on the track. And
well, the Bombers are going to have to do something to change the strategy here and to change the balance. If they're going to let Weston get isolated like that, they're going to be in trouble. 21-20, the Express have taken the lead first time here in the second half. The roster for the Bay Bombers in the women's field. 31 is Rita Williams. 35, little Jackie Garello, an all-star this year. 36, Barbara Baker. 37, Terry Nednet. 38, the women's captain, the Golden Girl, Joni Weston. And number 43, Sherry Schwenk. The officials, if we haven't mentioned it before, are Hugh Kendall, head referee, Jim Fitzpatrick, and Joe Lynn Highland. Trainer on the infield, Terry Lyons. The house announcer who you hear in the background here, public address announcer, is Terry Soule. 5 minutes remaining.
our score as they try and break out of the jam.
Out of the pack. Express the lead jammer. 46. Claudia Hobby. That's a valuable player.
Look who's coming out.
Here she comes. Joni Weston inside. Elbow block, and Hobby didn't know she was coming. Hobby back with a block. Weston rocked back. Comes right back in. Hobby almost goes down. Stays in there. Comes back after Weston. Sidestep. Weston to the outside. Hobby is down.
B.J. Peterson getting ready to tackle Joan Weston.
All right. Weston in the pivot helmet. The only one that can score here. Bombers clear across the front of the pack. The Express jammers in. About 20 seconds. Baker back to assist. It's Weston that can score. They start to weave in and out now. Peterson and Hobby try to follow here as they are going man on man. Woman on defense. Inside. Weston is through. Time starting to run out. Weston going for more. She's got one. Slides out of that turn, but Weston did get an extra point in there. There are 3 Bay Bomber points, Rich.
And I'm sure we'll see this one again. It was quite fun to watch. I think they picked up the wrong person on defense. You're taking a good look right now at Claudia Hobby. And check this out. Joni Weston, as she tries to break through the pack, and then she will pick up support from Barbara Baker. Joni cannot get through there. And here comes Barbara. Joni, who just now saw it, said, let's do the weave. She motioned it with each index finger, and here they go. Watch them right here. Eastern Express will be fooled. They go after the wrong person. That's Barbara Baker, and then Joni goes inside. She'll pick up 2 there. Then she'll get more.
The United Skating Association was responsible for this year's playoff format. Only the Southern Stars were upset by it, but that's probably because they finished 4th. Any other way, they wouldn't have been 2.5. Barbara Baker goes again, this time B.J. Peterson. Peterson out for the Express. Baker coming back, and Peterson goes down. Barbara Baker moving on out.
Let's see if they keep Peterson up in the pack. Oh, Joni Weston bounced her. Now who's playing defense? It's B.J.
Cut. Oh, sidestep. Baker gets by Peterson. Trying to move on Hobby now.
shot here. Break them up. Here we go.
Baker and Peterson.
Look out here. My goodness. A nice little scuffle between the two. And now quickly broken up. That was some jam by Barbara Baker.
Tempers flaring here early in the second half.
Let's give Deception some credit, too, because Barbara was able to duck inside. Because of that, Claudia Hobby knocked off B.J. Peterson, and that wound up leading to a big jam by Barbara Baker.
The Bombers proving. Let's watch this replay here. The Bombers proving they also can come up with the big plays. Now, first point already scored over Peterson, trying to score on Hobby. Hobby has a back low and a jump block.
But for the wrong person, right?
Then here comes
Barbara Baker inside,
right
picks it up, and then the whip on the high side. Joan Weston says, come on through. Down low she goes and calls it off.
27-21, the Bombers lead. Time has run out. At the end of the fifth period of play, the score stands again. Bombers 27, Express 21. We'll be back with the men on the track after this short pause.
The International Roller Skating League is proud to announce the grand opening of the official IRSL training school under the direction of Bay Bomber superstar Joan Weston. If you've ever dreamed of soaring around the bank track, now you can learn to skate with the pros. The training school is at 1273 Industrial Parkway West in Hayward, convenient to all the Bay Area. Open weeknights and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. weekends. Open to women and men 18 and older. Call 415-582-2131 for details and get in on the action at the IRSL training school.
Direct from the Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento, California, we've got the Bay Bombers battling the Eastern Express for this year's Roller Derby World Championship. The men breaking off the line starting the sixth period of play. Let's follow the action. 27-21, the Bombers lead by 6. Larry Lewis playing down. Lewis to the end. It's kept the Bombers in this game. Followed by James Paul. First time we see Paul out. Paul storms up the inside. Shoulder, elbow. Working on Lewis. Roll double teamed here. Off with Lewis to the rail. Over the rail. Mike Roll. James Paul, Express coach, still going with that pivot helmet, scoring the points. Coming from behind. They're doing it by Apodaca. Calls it off. There are two Eastern Express points.
This, I think, Ken, is going to be the most physical period of the contest, right here.
It's the Express style.
Let's take a look at Lewis this time. Right here, he's got James Paul, the captain of the Eastern Express, hammering him on top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And now he'll go with one foot on the infield and send him up top, and you'll see it right as it comes.
See how hard he hit that rail? He moved that upright.
That was some kind of throw right there. Larry Lewis going over the top. 27-23 our score. The Eastern Express trying desperately to come from behind, but keep in mind, we still have all of this period plus 2 others to go. The Eastern Express, the Bay Bombers, and we cannot overemphasize, friends, this is the championship.
Bombers, the jammer out. This time it's Dennis Claiborne, number 7. Out, Steve Sartain out for the Express, a little ways behind. 27-23. Express have cut the Bombers lead to 4. Blocking in the back, James Paul. James Paul working on a Bomber skater back there. Larry Lewis taken out. Claiborne put down. Sartain walking through. Roll into the rail. The Express once more comes storming back. 2 points. Steve Sartain. And James Paul setting it up. Paul really taking an active role here.
Easy to see why he is an all-star. Watch Paul on this. He is so rugged. Not only can he go out on the jam, although he's only done it 1 time tonight, but he can also play defense. And look at this. This time he misses. Dennis Claiborne out, but Paul will come back and be a very influential part of the play. He is some very powerful skater. I look for him to be one of the great ones to come, don't you, Ken?
Yeah, well, you know, also very uncharacteristically, he has contained himself tonight. He's not been in the penalty box yet. There's where Claiborne gets taken out. Sartain just keeps going through. 27-25. Bomber lead cut to 2 points. Roster now for the Eastern Express in the men's field. 42, Bob Solomon. 43, Steve Sartain. 45, Phil Moore. 46, Big Mike Phillips, Mr. P. 48 is Ron Allen. And the low numbers, 12, Chuck Hulbert. 15, James Paul, the coach. And 16, Alfonso Reyes, formerly coach. Everything else, so this time he'll go out on play here in the 6th period.
Lewis and Paul were dead even. Paul had
Double team and Grohl. Paul's got one, but he's still going. Called off. Teammate Alfonso Reyes picked up a penalty on that play. But there are 2 Eastern Express points, and we've got a tie game. 27-27. Rich, they keep scoring it back.
Indeed. I think Alfonso Reyes is going to have a big second half. Let's watch what happens to you. You'll see Paul go ahead on slow-mo replay around the far side and then into you. There's Bill Grohl being double-teamed, and if we are able to pick up the tail of the action, no, instead we'll follow the jammer as he goes ahead and points directions and gains more points. Bill Grohl was really hammered before Paul called off the jam.
As Reyes did it in the first half, Paul has taken up the cudgel in the second half here. In the first half, the Express took a lead of 17-10. The Bombers came back with 9 unanswered points at the end of the first half to give them a 19-17 edge. Roster for the Bombers in the men's field: 31, Brad Lemkill; 32, Larry Lewis; 33, Chris Keenan; 36, Frank Apodaca; 37, Louis Carabello; number 38, the coach and the general manager, Bill Grohl; and number 7, Dennis Claymore.
You know, Ken, somehow I doubt that at the end of this World Championship match that James Paul and Alfonso Reyes will ask Bill Grohl out to dinner. That just won't happen, will it?
I don't think you'll see him shoot the paradise. On this jam, Bombers number 37, Louis Carabello out. James Paul moves again. Paul has been a key part of every play in this period. Rocking Carabello. Carabello bounced into the rail, goes down. At the rear, they got Apodaca picked. Apodaca taken out by Phillips. Blocking Bill Grohl. Paul calls it off. There is 1 Express point, and that breaks the tie. A big point for the Express, 28-27.
Not only a big point, but a big period. As Ken just told you, a 1-point lead now by the Eastern Express, and I'm surprised at the relative silence of Frank Apodaca. We have not heard much from him here in this period.
Well, we haven't heard much from the fans here in this period. They haven't had much to really cheer about. It's been
sitting on their hands, aren't they?
It's been the Express play after play, and it has been their coach, James Paul. That's done it. They said they were going to come out tough in the second half, and they are proving it.
That's what they said at the halftime interview. They said we've got to get back not only to the basics of skating, but to some very rough physical play, and that's what's happened. They have outmanned the Bay Bombers in this period. That's why we have an Eastern Express lead. They have just been awesome physically.
Well, the Bombers, a lot of pride on the line here. They're no stranger to championship competition. 5 consecutive championships, back-to-back in high school, 60s to set a record. But they got to get hot. They got to get some clicking here. One more time, they don't. Carabello put down as Alfonso Reyes goes out.
I look for a big period from Alfonso Reyes, a big period. He said to me at halftime, he was not on the interview naturally. I talked to him just afterwards, and he says he wants to take it back east. He wants the crown back east. He says that's where it belongs.
Reyes coming up on the rear, and not too anxious to face the blocking of Bill Grohl. Reyes waiting for some help. He's not sure to get it. Carabello keeping Phillips up at the pack, and Apodaca in between. Keenan there also. It's 1-on-1, and Reyes has got no choice but to go at Grohl. And Grohl is eating it up right now. Hammers the blocks in on Reyes. Reyes taking some punishment now. And Grohl becoming the aggressive skater. Grohl pounding Reyes repeatedly. No more. The Bombers are trying to stop the Express on a play. And Rich, do you think that Grohl is trying to fire up this squad, get something lit here?
He's the captain. He's the #1 skater. He is what? Mr. Roller Derby, as we had tonight. Let's watch him right here. Bill Grohl is one of the true studs of the league, and watch him take on Alfonso Reyes right there with a big forearm up near the chin. And boom, one more time. And let's see, there's the knee right there, and that's slowed him up greatly. And here's the coup de grace, they say. Watch as he tries to get James Paul to help out. Another knee. Boom, one more time. And James Paul, there's no way he can help because Alfonso's on his backside. Bill Grohl with excellent defense that time.
28-27, the Express still lead by 1, but they have not been able to add to it. The Bombers have got the stopper in there finally. Ron Allen out for the Express. Frank Apodaca for the Bombers. James Paul Bill Grohl battling at the rear of the pack. Bombers have the lead. Jammer Apodaca. Grohl coming back after Paul now. Grohl really fired up out there. Takes it to Paul. Puts it down over the top. Apodaca drops it to Gallen. It's called off. Was called off by Apodaca as he went down.
As soon as Apodaca went down that time, Ken, he knew that he had to call off the jam. He had his point. Grohl with the defense. He called things off because, let's watch it right here. You'll see
You
for
see the
yourself.
tide turning now. First they had to stop the Express. They did that on the last jam. Now you got to get aggressive and go after the points, and that's what Bill Grohl is doing right there.
Apodaca with the jump, and then he called off the jam, and that's why we're at 28 apiece with what? Under a minute left.
28 all. Frank Apodaca in award ceremonies tonight voted the most improved skater in the league during 85. And boy, I think that's an indication of it right there.
I think he's terrific.
We got about 40 seconds left in the period now. 28 all tie here at the Memorial in Sacramento, California. It's all on the line for the championship. Period of play. Winding down. Bombers and jamming around. Louis Caramello. Nice play. Phillips is going to be hard-pressed to catch Caramello here. There's a lot of weight to get from him. 14 seconds. Racing the clock. Bill Grohl back. Grohl goes after Paul. Paul down. Paul off by Caramello. One Bomber point. And in the end, the Bombers proving to be the more aggressive team here, taking it away, taking the momentum away from the Express.
And I think there's an old saying, and although I don't know who started it, you might just as well be ahead as be behind, and that's why the Bombers have gone into the lead. Watch this right here. Down he goes. The jam called off. Give Bill Grohl a great deal of credit. That was a big block right there.
Time has run out here. Look out. Ball up on the rail. The Bombers take the power away from the Express. Time has run out here in the sixth period of play. The scoreboard reads the Bay Bombers 29, the Eastern Express 28. Right now, we'll take a pause along this special IRSL Madison Square Garden Network. Out on the jam, the women on the track for the seventh period, their final and regulation time. Bombers carrying net number 43, Willie Ryan for the Express. A battle going between Ryan and an Avnet here. Look out. Ryan for the Express. The lead jammer. Express trail the Bombers by 1, 29-28. Inside, called off. One Express point.
Be a good look at this crowd clapping in unison, trying to root the Bay Bombers home to a world championship.
That's right. Bombers the jammer out. Barbara Baker. Baker in the lead. Express. Jammer out, number 42, Dolores Holmes. Bombers trailing by 2, 31-29. This is the seventh period. This is it for the gals unless it goes to overtime. No game can end in a tie. Certainly not a championship game. And career, Joni Weston back to the Bombers. B.J. Peterson blocking defensively for the Express. 20 seconds left in jam time. Weston rocking blocks in on Holmes. Peterson trying to get a block. Baker on the inside. Couldn't find room. Now, Peterson is down. It's called off by Baker. There is one Bomber point.
Was that powerful or what? My goodness, B.J. Peterson went down in the heap.
Broken play for the Express. Let's watch it again. We've got a timeout here. The Express want to sort things out. Something went wrong here. Peterson trying to get a block in on Weston to set the point. Baker on the inside. Shoulder by Weston. Peterson in no position to do anything but go the way Weston has thrown her with a block. With this timeout call, we'll take a special pause along this IRSL Madison Square Garden Network. Here in the seventh, score stands, Bombers 30, the Express 31.
The International Roller Skating League is proud to announce the grand opening of the official IRSL training school under the direction of Bay Bomber superstar Joan Weston. If you've ever dreamed of soaring around the bank track, now you can learn to skate with the pros. The training school is at 1273 Industrial Parkway West in Hayward, convenient to all the Bay Area. Open weeknights at 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. weekends. Open to women and men 18 and older. Call 415-582-2131 for details and get in on the action at the IRSL training school.
Back to the action here at the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium. Timeout here in the 7th period. Express leading by 1, 31-30. They called the timeout. They picked the Bombers up. 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Final stanza for the gals, barring overtime. Joan Weston comes out of the pack now. Weston, a pivot skater, all the rights of a jammer. Over by Hobby. Hobby and Weston. Rocking block by Weston.
I think Ken arguably the two toughest skaters in the league. Maybe Pittsburgh.
Well, I wouldn't want to say that in front of Jan Bello.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me.
Coming up on the rear of the pack now. Peterson will block. Weston a block on Hobby on the outside. Weston goes by. No. They say no.
We have to see this.
Follow
My
us.
goodness.
Follow us closely.
You see him on the rail. It's right in front of us.
Peterson reached back to give her jammer a whip. Her jammer was not there. Weston, if we got this in replay, I want to show it to you. Weston took the whip that was offered. That is holding, however. There is no bomber score. Okay, let's see what we can. If there is no bomber score because Weston was guilty of holding. Let's see if we can get it here.
Okay,
Here it is, right there. You
Nice
saw it right
shot.
there. That's holding. Now, Weston can't call it off. She's a penalized skater. Here comes the express jammer who does go through for 4 express points. And, boy, you talk about a broken play, a little something that shouldn't have been can make the difference in the game. We got 4:10 left here in the 7th, and the express, because of that, are on top 35-30.
Great shot by our friend.
I don't know. I think Tony figured on the outside the officials couldn't see it. With 3 referees out there, it's kind of hard to get away with things. Bombers in trouble. Both express jammers out.
You hate to go into the 8th period down big, and that's staring the Bay Bombers in the face now. 35-30 with 2 jammers out.
Bombers have Jackie Garillo out a long way behind. Penalty time is up. Weston coming back in, but the damage primarily already done. 2 express jammers moving up on the rear of the pack. Baker with a pivot helmet in Weston's absence. Back and blocking. Weston covering for back in the pack now. Express could get some big ones here. Bombers breaking a pull away. Bomber pull away. In that net, Williams, Baker, Weston. And of course, Garillo already out as a jammer, you see him there. 5 seconds. The Bombers, I believe, are going to be successful here in a pull away. Somebody, Rich, left the barn door open.
That's what I call terrific smarts by the Bay Bombers, and it's why they are in the championships. It's why they won the pennant. They pulled away at the correct time. They were able to outrun the jammers, a double jam at that. And because of that, didn't cost themselves any points when it very well could have been, what, 8?
The Express should have had somebody sitting on the front of that pack making sure that that did not happen.
Yes.
Somebody missed their assignment that time. So we've had 2 plays. One, the Bombers got caught, and it cost them. And now the Express make a simple mental error, and it left them with nothing. With a golden opportunity when they had 2 jammers and a chance to score. 35-30, they're still in front by 5, but it could have been more. Pack form, jammers moving up. We might mention the IRSL teams will be skating live games in many of the cities where they're currently seen on television. After this jam, we'll be giving you the league address where you can write to get the first word on upcoming live games in your area. So you're on the mailing list. We'll tell you right after this. Peterson and Rita Williams. 2 minutes left to go here in the 7th. Peterson and Williams. Oh, Williams goes after Peterson. Bunch are into the up down by 5. If they needed a play anywhere like this, they needed it right now.
And they're sending Joni Weston back to run the D. And let's see if we get a breakaway here.
Now there's gonna be a pull away by the Express, and the Bombers weren't watching. You would think after that last jam that they made a breakaway, that they would be sitting on top of that. Weston has caught Harrison. All right, Weston by on the inside. There's 2. Williams just following. This round for the 3rd one is called off. Next is 4th one. 4 Bomber points.
This crowd on their feet. Oh, goodness, what a nice play it was for the Bombers. Joni Weston caught up with a breakaway, was able to run interference. And in turn, that's 4 big points. Watch it one more time, will you? For big Bay Bombers.
Here's where the pull away comes. They break out the front of the pack. Someone wasn't watching, didn't do their assignment again. But I think the Express team now, this is their 6th period out there, counting that first game. They're getting a little tired. Weston can lead the way. They cannot outrun the Bombers at this point. And that is perhaps the killing thing in this game.
You know, Ken, that's a great point. Absolutely great point.
35-34. The Bombers are down by only 1. 15 seconds left to go. The league address to get on the mailing list. Live games coming up across this country. Make sure you're the first to get word of them. The IRSL, P.O. Box 7979, San Francisco, California, 94122. Well, there's the buzzer. Time has run out at the end of 7 full periods of play. The score stands. The Bombers 34, the Express 35. This year's World Championship game, both teams are going to go for it all now. Bombers undoubtedly are going to turn loose. Larry Lewis, Bill Earl's going to have everybody out there going at it. Every play can be the one that turns the game around. James Paul, I'm sure, has got some plans. Here's one of them right here. Mike Phillips out on the jam. Double block. Claiborne outside. Limkill inside, or Carabello rather inside. Phillips just goes right through. Basic power play, you might say. The size of Phillips, the momentum when he has the speed. He is hard to stop. About a half minute to jam time. Now Phillips has got to catch him back. That's his only problem. He's never been accused of being a speed runner. He's never got a ticket out on that track for going too fast. Grohl set the block. Elbow on the outside. Spins him off the rail. Now Phillips has got a pump to get back up here. Here go the Bombers. They break the pack. They break the pack, and time running out. They're not going to get Phillips up to anybody. There's the whip. Look out. Phillips a little upset with himself that time. There is no score. 6 minutes left to go here. Express trying to get the jammer out, but it's the Bombers. Louis Carabello that starts it. Alfonso Reyes moves out now for the Express. Now he's the man that kept him in there in the first half.
He has so far the most exciting jam of the night. Paul's trying to help him out. There's at least one. Yes.
Honor down on the track. Apodaca. Keenan rail. There are a total of 3 Eastern Express points. So they are not going to lay down and roll over, Rich.
Not at all. Ray has told me this is his period. He told me that prior to the start of this game, and if you can remember that 4 mini series that we had prior to this, he had the big jam. You'll remember the Midwest Pioneers trying to break away, and Ray's caught him and passed him and won it for him.
Well, you know, Alfonso Reyes in 1979 brought his brand new Southern Jolters into the league. He got him a league pennant, a feat that in itself had not been done by a rookie team in the league before. He lost in the playoffs to the Bombers. He's back with the Jolters. He's not the coach. He's under James Paul, but this is a rookie team in their first year. He's got a lot of incentive to want to see him win this one.
He's obviously a very great skater.
Okay, they go to Larry Lewis. The Bombers down by 4, 38-34. Blocking at the rear. Apodaca working on Phillips. Here comes Lewis. Phillips is down. Off a whip. Lewis loses it back up. Plays it safe. Calls it off. There is one Bomber point. Frank Apodaca Apodaca scoring 38-35, cuts the Express lead to 3.
And Lewis holding his hip. Perhaps we'll see him on the tail end go down on this replay. He is right around. Nice camera shot as he comes around the near side. Apodaca with a big block there. Lewis gains the whip, and off he goes, and down he goes. And that is very painful.
You know, Rich, this game really relatively penalty-free so far.
Yes, it has. I've been surprised.
It's James Paul, Alfonso Reyes, all those temperamental, explosive personalities out there, but they've stayed with their game plan. They've been aggressive. They've been rough. They have attacked. But this has been a relatively well-skated game.
As much talk as they had at the half, saying that how we are going to go out and, quote, break some bones. They have not been as overzealous, perhaps, as they could have
been in control.
Yes, they have.
Before this game is over, we'd like to say a special thanks to our director, Mr. Jim Reisinger. Everyone on this crew has done this tremendous action. They got it covered. Bombers break Apodaca. Here comes James Paul. You know you're getting down to the wire now. 3 minutes left. Paul acted the pivot skater. Said, look. Paul did not expect that move from Frank Apodaca. Okay, here's Bill Groh. Calling a play to Apodaca. The Bombers down by 3. Double block. Raised outside. Phillips inside. A formidable pair. Here comes Groh out of the turn. Take down. The big man Apodaca over the top. Quickly back up to call it off. The Bombers come up with a clutch play. 2 points.
It shows you why Bill Grohl is a legend. Watch this. 2 of the toughest skaters in the league trying to hold him off. Mr. B and Alfonso Reyes. And when we get the replay up, you will see an amazing piece of skating by the captain of the Bay Bombers, Bill Grohl. There is the pick. Grohl flies into it. Apodaca over the top. He goes down, calls it off. That's a big 2.
A little man like a Lewis or a Macedo to do that is easy, but for a big man to jump like that is something else.
Sure
2 minutes,
is,
final 2 minutes. Bombers trail now by only 1. 38-37.
These folks are on their feet.
This telecast is presented by authorization of DJL Sports Incorporated. Any other use, reproduction, or retransmission of this program without the express written permission of DJL Sports and the International Roller Skating League is strictly prohibited. Don't do it, folks. They say you can't. Back together. We're coming down to it now. Bombers down by 1 for the 85 World Championship. Whichever way it goes, the Express Rich have come a long way for their first season of league competition. They really have. They have Steve Sartain out of the lane, blocking it through, and Grohl in trouble, double team. Sartain in, calls it off before Keenan the Bomber Jammers can get through. 1 Express point.
Why not take it now? Why not take 1 point? We've only got, what, 1 jam left?
A minute 9 on the clock, and the Express are up by 2, 39-37. Stay tuned at the end of this game. Rich, you're going to be back with the presentation of the 1985 championship trophy to the winning team. Under a minute. But remember, this jam, if it starts, will go the full 60 seconds.
They've got to get it going. I look for Larry Lewis to get out of the jam if at all possible.
If never is the time to go to Lewis, it's got to be down. It's got to be down. The Bombers down by 2. They need 2 to tie. They need 3 for the lead. If it ties, it'll go into overtime. And we will bring you the tie-breaking play of the game if it does that. 30 seconds on the clock.
Lewis with a whip, and he's out.
Heavy traffic, but he gets out. No. Look at that move. He gives it to Grohl. He comes back to block number 45, Bill Moore. Keep the Express jammer out of the game. Bombers have control here. They've got the only jammer. It is their coach, Bill Grohl. Unexpected, Rich.
Very unexpected.
But it was necessary to keep the Express jammer out of the play, and Lewis sacrificed his own position to do it. Grohl double block, trying to break it. Can't do it that time. Apodaca to the rail. He gets back. Apodaca, we're in extra time here. Jam again going the full minute. Apodaca. The lead in.
Here they go.
2 to tie, 3 for the lead. Here we go. Apodaca, the whip. Roll 2, goes down. Back up. We've got a tie so far. He needs another one for the win. Tie, running out. Grohl
Express? Do they think they have won the championship? Let's see.
There are 2 points. It is a tie. There are 2 points. It is a tie. We will go to overtime. We will go to overtime. We will come back to follow the overtime. You at home will see the game-winning points scored. So don't go away. Stay tuned. We'll be back in overtime following these messages. Grohl gets through that double block. He slides. He goes down. He scrambles back up. He needs another point here. He needs another point.
Again, if it's not for the stumble.
All right, we're on the line now. Let's go. Let's go now. We are in sudden death. 5 minutes. Sudden death overtime. 1 point and 1 point only decides the game. Bombers have the break. Bombers have the break.
Look at Johnny Weston putting her down.
And then the through calls it off. No score. Penalty on Weston. No score. Penalty on Weston for illegal use of the hands. Holding on Weston. Bombers got the break off the line, cannot take advantage of it. Weston upset. She's got a penalty. Grohl up on the track. Lewis up on the track. Apodaca up on the track. It's still a 39-39 tie. Clock ticking. 4:20. Sudden death overtime. The first point is the only point. This game will end 40-39. It is just a question of which way it will end 40-39.
And Joni Weston in the penalty box.
This has got to hurt.
This is tough for the Bay Bombers.
Again, the game ends with the first point. That's automatically the end of the game. You're the secondary jammer. You can't come back and get a point and keep it a tie. It's over with the first point.
I wonder who will pick up the slack. Barbara Baker trying to get out on the jam, I'm sure. Jackie Garella also in there, but she's back in the pack, and this could be tough.
Express the jammer out. B.J. Peterson, Bombers. Barbara Baker with a pivot breaks out. Baker out to Peterson. Baker put down. Okay, the Express, Rich, have got it in their hands now.
Yes, they do. And Weston's back.
All right, Weston out of the penalty box. Peterson moving on the rear. Baker back there to block right now. 1 point all it takes. And the Express have the only jammer. Bombers now have Williams out a long way back. Baker handling it against Peterson. As we're coming up on 3 minutes in overtime. Baker handling Peterson. Now Williams starting to move up. The Bombers have a chance. They have a chance. Williams in the lead. Williams in the lead. Hobby will block. Williams up 10 seconds, about all it's left. Williams is railed. 5 running out. Weston rails. Peterson. Again, it is no score. 39-39 remains a tie. 2:35 on the clock in overtime. No game can end in a tie. Certainly no championship game. If this overtime period does not break the tie, the men will be back on the track for another 5 minutes of sudden death overtime.
Let's give Barbara Baker a great deal of credit there. With Joni Weston in the penalty box, Barbara was able to hold off defensively until Joni got back on the track. And quite frankly, I thought Barbara Baker did a great job.
Coming up at 2:05 now. Again, 1 point either way is going to decide this 1980 World Championship playoff final. Baker out. Williams out for the Bombers. In the lead, 42 to Loris Holmes for the Express. Also out is Willie Ryan. Heavy traffic on this jam. All 4 months together. Out of the pack. Weston moving. Weston with a pivot. This could be it.
My goodness.
A minute 30. This will probably be the last jam in any case. Weston has it all in her power now. Weston coming up on the rear. We've got a pull away. The Express out. But are they? Do they have the
Weston, the captain of the female team here with the Bay Bombers, and what a treat it is for these fans here in